everyone, my name is Iman.
And I'm Amal.
And welcome back to another episode of the Weird and Wonderful podcast.
Woohoo!
So on this week's episode, we're doing part 2 of the Q&A because there were so many great questions. We felt like we couldn't fit it all into one episode, so we're going to do a second one. Go ahead with the disclosure.
Right, here's a little disclaimer if you did not watch the last episode. Disclaimer. Here's a little disclaimer. Me and Iman are in no way experts, and we are simply answering questions that you have voluntarily sent in to us. And if you need professional help, please do seek professional help. And we're just hoping that this could give you some perspective, some insight into what it is that you're asking us about.
Mm-hmm. And again, all of our answers are based on our experiences, our point of view.
Our own opinions, yeah.
Yes, and the context of the question that you have provided us.
Correct.
So there may be a bigger picture of the question that we don't know. And there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. Okay, so we're going to dive right into it because there's so many good ones. Question number 1. When is the best time to introduce your partner to your parents and family? What do you do if they don't like your partner? Oh, okay.
I would say the best time is when you guys are on the way to marriage.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so? I mean, I feel like if I just had a mine boyfriend, like why would I introduce him to my parents?
Agree.
You know what I
And
mean?
I've had a few mine boyfriends, none of which I introduced to my parents or my family.
Yeah. Like why would you?
Why would you?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah. And so I suppose on that strain of only introducing them when you know it's serious, when you know that inshallah this relationship is going to end up with us like walking down the aisle, Nikah together. I think that's the point where you introduce them. For me, I introduced Ashraf to my parents when my parents visited us because Ashraf and I were both studying in Canada together. And at that point, I knew that we wanted to get married. So I said, hey, Mama and Papa, there's this guy that I want you to meet. And I think we took him out for lunch. Yeah. And then that's when, my parents asked him questions. Not like hardcore questions like, oh, what are your intentions with my daughter?
No, it's just like conversation, like where
are you from? What are you studying? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was also really funny because the first time Ashraf came to our house, Amal and I weren't there. So Amal and I were abroad in Canada, and Ashraf super brave. Like I would never go to my in-laws house by myself.
Yeah.
Before they became my in-laws, he was really brave.
He went.
Good for you. So he went over and he had dinner with our parents and our brothers, and I guess like after dinner they were having coffee, and I guess my mom just wanted to send me like a photo of how everything was going, so she actually took a sneaky photo, but mom left the flash on, and as she was pressing the picture the flash went off and Ashraf noticed, but I think he was like too nice to say anything. My mom was so embarrassed. And I think later on before they were leaving or a little bit after that, he said, so auntie, did you get a nice photo? So I think that's when my mom knew that Ashraf was like the one for us because he's like very humorous.
Yeah, he's got a sense of humor.
He does have a sense of humor. So that answers your question, plus a little anecdote of my experience. So there you go. Next question. I have a few circle of friends and all of them are very special to me. Sometimes I only invite one circle to do something with me, but then the other groups will get jealous or terasa. To be honest, I get annoyed when things like this happen. What do I do?
So people need to stop feeling entitled to other people's time, I feel. Because like if you are a good friend to, okay, just say, I don't know, Farah is good friends with Alia, okay? But Farah has another friend, Batrisha, okay? I don't know. I'm just
picking names.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just snowballing here. And then Farah hangs out with Batrisha, and Alia gets to wrestle with with Farah for not inviting her to her outing with Batrisha. Dude, you're not even close with Batrisha, and Farah is completely entitled to her own time. Isn't like she's completely allowed to spend her time with whoever she wants to spend it with. I mean, would you actually enjoy being with Batrisha at the same time?
Because you don't know Batrisha.
Because you're not like good friends. Yeah. So, girl, I feel just carry on. Yeah. Like if people get annoyed with you, then that's up to them because you have no control over that. You are doing what you're doing, and
I think for me, I completely agree with you. But in that strain, for me, I've had the experience where there's a group of like 5 of us, and when all 5 go out without me, so all 4 of them go out without me, that's when I terasa.
Yeah, because you are part of the
group. Yeah. But if there's one friend and she either goes here or here, I don't care if she hangs out with here because that's not my group.
Right.
But if here go without me, then I
Yeah,
will
that can
Teresa.
be a bit hurt.
Yeah.
That can be hurtful, definitely. But I mean, in her,
If she wants to hang out with
Yeah.
these friends, I'm okay.
yeah,
'Cause
but,
it's like, do you?
just based on her question, yeah,
She's talking about the group of
she's
friends.
talking about the other group of friends. Like, I mean, girl, just carry on.
In our older age, do we really have
Yeah.
older age? Do we really have time for drama?
We
I mean,
don't.
let people hang out with who they want to hang out with.
Yeah.
When they want to hang out with you, go. If they don't want to hang out with you, it's okay. You have other friends. You have Netflix. You have TV, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
find something else
yeah. So,
and chill.
so it's really okay. You know, if they want to get annoyed, just let them get annoyed.
Let them get annoyed.
You get on with whatever it is you're getting on.
Yeah, and I feel like these days, it's not that I don't want to juggle people's hati. I do my best, but if it's already out of my control and I've done everything I can, and they still want to terasa or like feel upset, I let them.
Yeah.
Because really, go ahead. Okay.
Wow, there's a lot of emotion
Yeah,
for
that
that
was-
one.
Do we have feelings about this? Okay. Can I ask my partner about his past relationship or history? Is it wrong or unnecessary to do that?
I think if I were to get together with someone, I mean, later in the relationship, if I knew like, okay, I do want to marry this guy. I mean, not even like in a serious context, just for fun. I would ask him. I'm like, so past girlfriends, what did you do to them? Like, why did they leave you? You know, I'd like to know. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But if he were to get offended by the question, then I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. For me, I think it's very important that you know about someone's like not dating history, like someone's relationship history. So like, who are the girlfriends that you've had before? Because I guess when you have a partner, you want to build this like their backstory, their history that they've had before you. I think it's also important to know who they were before you.
Right.
So with me and my husband, like we told each other, okay, these are who I was with before, yada yada yada. How long did you go out with them, whatever. And I guess with men, like they're not really into detail. Like they just say, okay, I was with Batrisha from like 2001 to 2002. I was with Alia from like whenever to whenever, and then between that I didn't have anyone. Whatever. I think it's completely fine to ask.
Yeah.
And I think that if the guy gets offended, ask them why. Like, is it because
there
you're
should be a
hiding something?
reason, for that.
You know, like it's all in the past. Like it's no problem. I think the problem is when you start comparing yourself to the relationships that he's had before, which I have been very guilty of.
Right.
I, in the beginning, still today, a little bit, feel a bit insecure about, my husband's exes because, they're like so much prettier than me or like so much more successful than me or, those kind of things like, was she nicer than me? That kind of stuff. And I think it kind of bothered Ashraf. Like, he was fine with me knowing about his exes, but I think it bothered him when I asked too much or too often. Be like, did you like Patricia more than me? Or do you like me?
Because he knows that's not because you genuinely, because you already know
fishing.
the answer.
I'm just fishing.
You're just fishing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what guys don't like.
Yeah, but if you genuinely just need to know what it is that his past relationships were, just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem.
And I think also trusting them when they tell you, okay, this was it, just leave it at that. Don't be the type like, no, he's not telling me more, and then like start digging and like hacking into his Facebook or whatever to read their old messages. Like that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, that relationship has passed. You cannot say, oh no, you loved her more than me. He's with you now.
Yeah, he's with you for a reason. If he did love her more than you, then he probably wouldn't be with you.
Yeah, exactly.
So just cool it, I am.
There you go. That's our answer for that one. Okay. Is being friends with your ex okay?
No. That's it.
Amal and I are
we are of the...
We don't have guy friends.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I did have friends in college and whatnot, and if we met up at like a gathering or something, I can totally sit down and have a conversation, catch up.
Right. When I say guy friends, I mean like good guy friends.
Good friends that you would like message. And
like how you would act with a girlfriend.
Yeah. Like I don't have that kind of relationship. Like I don't have a relationship that I have with a girl with a guy. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I completely understand.
Because I don't, like, for me, if I were to be in a relationship and I know that my husband is talking to another girl, I'd be like, why? I mean, why are you talking to another girl? I'm here. I'm your wife in all its glory, in all my glory. Like, why is it that you want to talk to another girl? That's why I'm thinking that I'm not going to want to talk to a guy and tell another guy how my feelings are when I have a partner.
Yeah, because usually when you are friends with someone, you don't talk about just very on the surface stuff. It's your feelings, your emotion, what you're going through. And personally, for me, I would feel uncomfortable sharing that with a guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I always have. And like Amal said, I've had friends in school, guy friends in school, guy friends in college, but just very on the surface. Like, even if we go to lunch kappa, it's like with a group.
Definitely.
I'm never like one-on-one with a guy. Just because I think for me, it's just a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, other people do it, but personally for me, it's not a choice that I would
have.
Yeah. So
in that strand of not being friends with guys, will we be friends with our ex?
Definitely not. I feel like if you were, would your current partner like it if you were still talking to your ex?
Probably not.
I don't think that works. I don't know. I don't know how other people do it, but I personally don't think that works.
Yeah, and I think I remember once I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she said, "Oh yeah, I have this guy friend. We're not anything, but I just talk to him because I can tell him things I can't tell my girlfriends." I'm like, what can you tell a guy that you cannot tell a girl?
I don't know. Some people do have longer
Perhaps.
like, childhood friends or something. Definitely, like,
perhaps.
I know that I know people who do have it and it works for them. But then at the same time, when later on when you are married, would your husband like it if you were still speaking to another guy? A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I was friends with him a lot longer before I got together with you." But I'm like, why did you get together with your current partner if you're still talking to another guy? I don't know. Maybe because we've never been in this position as well. So I think it'll just be really weird. I wouldn't like it if my husband is talking to another girl.
No, Ashraf, you better not be talking to any girls.
Yeah.
Hi, Iman and Amal. Hi. I'm currently in a long distance relationship. However, I just recently graduated and he still has a year left. He's extremely busy with his projects. I understand wholeheartedly and support him. However, the lack of communication is making me worry of the possibility that we will eventually fall out of love. I'm not sure what to do because admittedly I am starting to feel distant from him. Long distance relationships, or in Malay, it's called
PJJ.
PJJ.
Perhubungan jauh, right?
Yes. They're tough, not gonna lie, especially if you are having a PJJ/LDR after being physically together, as in like in the same place together for a while, and then having to be apart. You miss that, like, being down the road from each other, going to class with each other or whatever. It is tough, but you have to realize that this is just a phase. Inshallah, there is an end.
Yeah, it's just a year, right?
In your situation, my love, it's just a year. Inshallah, he will come back, and not to say everything will go back to normal because things always change. But if you're meant to be together, and if he is, any of you guys are each other's jodoh, then it will happen. Feeling distant is normal because everyone's life goes on. His life goes on even though you're not there.
And final year architecture, I mean, we all know that that's really, really, really tough. And you do.
Building all those little things with the cardboard and sticking them with the...
there is more to that.
Sorry.
But so I guess just use the memory of your final year and just, really digest that and know that he's going through what you went through. And maybe he's just super busy and like literally has no time, because I know a lot of people say you'll make time for the people
who matter.
That's true, but at the same time sometimes they can't. There's literally no time. Time difference as well, and it's just life goes on no matter where you are. So even if Amal and I were apart, I know that I will still have to go do my thing, whatever. Even though I miss her terribly, she has her life as well. And when it's time for us to reconnect, we will. And
inshallah, so will you. And if you're starting to feel distant with him, maybe just open up and let him know how you're feeling. And if you guys have an honest conversation and you feel that this relationship is worth it, despite the LDR, despite you feeling this way, then keep going at it. You know, sometimes relationships, you don't have to talk every day. You know, if you guys have that understanding that, you know what, let's just talk when we need to or when we have to. We don't have to check on each other all the time, like, oh, dah makan ke? You buat apa ke? I feel like those little things are the ones that people feel like weigh them down sometimes, because you always need to check on each other.
Right.
Next question, which I think is going to be interesting. Sometimes I feel like all of my friends secretly hate me. Do you guys think it's just an absurd feeling? What do I do?
It's not an absurd feeling. I feel like we all worry about that.
Yeah.
Right? It's part
If
of the
we're being liked.
Yeah, it's part of the inferiority complex.
Firstly, ask yourself, why is it that you think your friends hate you?
Is it something you're doing? Like check yourself first.
Yeah.
You know, like if you are aware that you are doing something that they might not like, then maybe you solve that first, and then revisit this question. Yeah.
And I think sometimes when everyone has that feeling, right? Like you can sense, oh, that this person feels a little bit off today, or maybe they're saying certain things to kind of like hurt your feelings. Like, I know as human beings we pick up on those things,
right?
You know, that passive aggressiveness that, you know, females sometimes tend to do. You know, it's littered everywhere. And if you pick up on that, if you're good enough friends, maybe you can just ask them like, hey, is everything okay? Or, you know, I'm sensing a bit of like tension here. Like, is there anything that we can do to kind of like work it out? I think that's like a way to go about it.
Yeah.
Because I also definitely feel sometimes like my friends don't like me. I honestly feel that my friends...
You do come on a bit strong sometimes. Because I don't like you sometimes too. So there you go. And you know what? If they don't like you sometimes, that's okay. Like, time just does its thing. You know, you can be annoyed with somebody one day. You can be best friends the next day. Right?
You can't love someone all the time. It is impossible.
Like, even with the baby, right? Like, he's great. Love him to bits.
Love him.
But then when he's cranky, you're annoyed with him because and there's literally nothing you can do to calm him down.
Yeah.
And he's a baby, you know? So, like, grown-ups with all their little annoying things, you know, like, you're bound to not like them sometimes. Yeah. So when you feel like you are annoying your friend or you're doing something that they don't like, just take a step back, stop what you're doing or whatever, or just wait till tomorrow and I'm sure it'll be okay, inshallah.
Yeah. And sometimes also asking your friends, like, you know, is there something about me that you don't like, in a nice way? Yeah. Sometimes helps.
Yeah, but don't ask it all the time though. Then you'll be like, oh my god, you're so needy. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So just
it depends.
It depends.
Okay. Does an exhausting relationship have to be a toxic relationship? Okay, so how I would start this off is first to define what is an exhausting relationship and what is a toxic relationship. So I would say that an exhausting relationship is something that drains you, in terms of maybe your friend is being like whiny or likes to complain, or just like after talking to that person you feel exhausted, like all this energy is like being drained out of me. That's how I would define an exhausting relationship.
Yeah, I would agree.
In terms of a toxic relationship, I would define it as someone who you spend time with, and while or after that you feel like bad about yourself.
Yeah.
You feel like, I'm not good enough, or this person has said some things that just makes me feel like I'm not worthy either to be her friend or worthy to like be around her.
Right.
So that's what I would say is toxic relationships.
Basically like a toxic.
Feel less about yourself.
Yeah. They make you feel like that, but not like in so many words.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do it really, really subtly. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the difference.
Yeah. So that's how I would define it. And the question is, does it have to be the same thing? I don't think it's necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, it can be in a Venn diagram, but like it's not necessarily the same thing.
It may overlap.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It's not the same circle. It
It's
may
not the same
overlap, but it's
circle.
not the same circle.
For me, exhausting relationships, I can still handle an exhausting relationship.
Yeah. And if you know at the end of the day you get to be away from this person and then like meet up with them again later, that's
And
absolutely
sometimes
fine.
with friends who are exhausting to like layan all the time, there is good in it, because why would you want to stay in a relationship if it's not beneficial or if it's not good for you? You know, like not all relationships are 100%. Maybe sometimes your friend is exhausting, but she's also fun to hang out with,
Right.
you know? So you stay for the fun, but you have to put up with being exhausted by maybe her whininess or her complainingness or whatever. So for me, I don't mind an exhausting relationship to a certain point.
Yeah.
For me, the thing that exhausts me are the people that need to constantly be layan all the time. Like,
Right.
hey, what you doing? You know, like
Yeah,
who wants
yeah.
to chat on the phone all the time? Mama got no time for that. You know, I don't have time to text
Yeah.
all the time. And even like in chat groups, I love reading what all my friends are up to, what we're chatting about, but I cannot be responsive
can't
all the time.
participate all
I
the
cannot
time.
participate.
Yeah.
I can read at the end or
And
whatever.
your friends are aware that you always do that, right?
Yeah.
You reply everything later when you're
When
in
I
a better
can.
when
Yeah.
you're in a better headspace.
yeah. So that's exhausting relationship is okay with me. I cannot handle toxic relationships.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody should.
Nobody should. If you are, maybe reevaluate maybe what your priorities are. I don't know. But for me, if I hang out with someone and they make me feel lesser, or they make me feel not good about myself, or that I'm not worthy, I just tell myself, this is not worth it. Your friendship, albeit, you know,
Great at one point.
or
not
whatever,
worth it anymore.
it's just not working out for me.
Yeah.
And maybe it's better that like we go our separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and the last question is, how do you start conversing or meet people when you are an introvert?
Personally, for me, I don't really like the label introvert and extrovert.
I don't like labels.
Because I feel like that you really box yourself in. Once you have it in your head that, oh, I'm an introvert, you automatically you kind of list down all the things. Oh, because I'm an introvert, these are all things I'm not good at, and these are all things I am good at. So it kind of it boxes you in. So this question, I feel like maybe you're just a shy person, right? And I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, I understand. Okay, I agree with not labeling. And I think perhaps what you're trying to say is, how do you approach people if maybe you're a little bit more shy, or you're, not to say you're not confident, but I'm going to say, you know, maybe you're not so confident to go up to speak to someone.
Right, for sure.
It's hard. It
is hard. I find it hard.
Is the toughest thing in the world. But I remember a really good tip, I think on my very first day of university, and our seniors told us,
always bring mint.
oh, okay, sure, great
You
tip.
offer mint and then just breaks the ice.
Great tip.
Sorry. Keep going.
And the tip was, make friends because everyone else wants to make friends.
Yeah.
Because on the first day of school or first day of work or whatever it is, like, you might think you're the only one without friends. That's not true. Everyone else around you does not have friends either. And when you're at a public event, you're at like a networking thing, like you're literally there to talk to people. And you should never feel like, oh, if I talk to this person, I'm going to be like menyusahkan them. No, they're there for you to talk to them. They are just waiting for you to talk to them. So that's how I psych myself up.
Right.
And I think the easiest way is just to say hello.
Yeah. Just
You know,
say
but
hi.
and if the person is obviously Muslim, you say Assalamualaikum, how are you? And I do understand that the culture in Malaysia is maybe we are I think, in my opinion, a bit more shy
Yeah.
than when we were
We're more
abroad.
kept to
We're more
ourselves.
kept to ourselves. We're more very like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here with my tea doing this whole networking thing and just pray to God no one talks to me. I get it, but you just gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And what's the worst that can happen is that they smile and say Walaikum salam and then walk away.
And
so
that's
what?
fine.
Don't talk to them.
I mean, that still kind of feels a bit. I don't like that. Like, I understand. I completely understand. But yeah, just say hi.
you gotta
Just-
put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you can start with saying like, hi, so my name is Iman. How are you? Or where are you from? What'd you
good.
do?
I'm
You know,
from
that kind of
Kuala
thing.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
That's our
Rip the
advice.
Band-Aid off, you know? I mean, I'm sure people think I'm super unfriendly because I have this face on when I'm out. But yeah, just
Come and say hi. And I think more people need to be more open with saying hi, and just, we're all living on this planet together. Let's just say hi.
yeah. And the fact that you think you're an introvert, just get rid of that.
Yeah. You're you.
You're you, and you come with all your qualities. You just happen to be a bit more shy when meeting people, and that's fine.
That's it. Yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, concerns, comments, stories that you'd like to share with us, please comment them down below in the comment section. We'd be very, very grateful.
And thanks for watching.
And
we'll catch you
listening.
next time.
Assalamualaikum.